Our today's lesson is solving linear systems by adding or subtracting. Sometimes this method is called elimination. For example, let's solve x plus y equals 5 and the system x minus y equals 3. If we were to add these together, if you notice the y variable are opposites. You have positive y and negative y. So if I were to add them together, I get 2x, and the y's will cancel out, equals 8. And I simply divide both sides by 2, and that tells me that x is 4. And all we have to do is solve for the y term. And you can pick the top or bottom equation. Let's say I pick the top one. X is 4, where I have x plus y equals 5. I replace the value of x with 4. So 4 plus y equals 5. I subtract both sides by 4. Y must be 1. So the point of intersection is 4, 1. All right, solve. You have 4x minus 2y equals 12. And the bottom equation is x plus 2y equals 8. And if you look at it carefully, you want to see which variable you can eliminate. If I look at the x's, I have 4x and x. But the second one, I have 2y, negative 2y, and positive 2y. So I know I can go ahead and eliminate the y variable just by adding the two equations together. So 4x plus x is 5x. Negative 2y and 2y is 0. And 12 plus 8 gives me 20. I divide both sides by 5. X has to be 4. And again, I can evaluate the top or bottom equation. Usually, you want to pick the equation with the lesser amount of coefficients, or the smaller coefficient. So I'll pick the bottom one instead of the top one. So I'll pick x plus 2y equals 8. You get the same answer if you pick the other equation. So x is 4. I have 4 plus 2y equals 8. Subtract 4 from both sides. I'm left with 2y equals 4. Divide both sides by 2, y must be 2. So the point of intersection is 4, 2. All right, solve. 6x minus 3y equals 15. And 4x plus 3y equals negative 5. If you look at the y variable, you see they're opposites. I have negative 3y and positive 3y. So I can go ahead and add these up. 6x plus 4x is 10x. The y's cancel out. 15 plus negative 5 is 10. So I divide both sides by 10. X is 1. All right, so you can pick the top or bottom equation. I'm going to pick the bottom one. So I'm going to evaluate 4x plus 3y equals negative 5 when x is 1. So I get 4 times 1 plus 3y equals negative 5. That's 4 plus 3y equals negative 5. I can subtract 4 to both sides. So I get 3y equals negative 9. I divide both sides by 3. Y must be negative 3. You want to be careful with the signs on here because it makes a difference with ordered pairs. Because 3 would be a lot different than negative 3. It would be a different direction. So 1, negative 3. It's a point of intersection. Okay, solve the system 2x plus y equals negative 6 and negative 5x plus y equals 8. Now, don't get too crazy and just add these together. If you add them together, you're going to get an equation with two variables, and what you want to do is eliminate one of these variables. If you add this as is, 2x plus negative 5 will give you negative 3, and y plus y is 2x. So what you want to do, you have to adjust this a little bit. So you can either multiply the top or bottom equation by negative 1 in order to create an opposite. So let's say I multiply the top equation by negative 1. You have to do that to both sides. So now I'm left with negative 2x minus y equals positive 6. And now leave the bottom equation the same. So I get negative 5x plus y equals 8. And what that does is it creates opposites. I got a negative y here and a positive y. Now I can go ahead and add them together. So negative 2x plus negative 5x is negative 7x. The y's cancel out. And 6 plus 8 is 14. I divide both sides by negative 7. That tells me that x has to be negative 2. And again, you can substitute negative 2 into the top or bottom equation. Let's say I take the top one. I have 2x plus y equals negative 6. And if x is negative 2, I have 2 times negative 2 plus y equals negative 6. So it's negative 4 plus y equals negative 6. I add 4 to both sides. Y must equal negative 2. So it intersects at the point negative 2, negative 2. All right, solve the system. Negative 2x plus 3y equals 2. And 2x plus y equals 14. Again, if you were to add these, well, if you add these as is, notice that the x term is negative 2x and the bottom one is 2x. So you don't need to adjust anything. You just go ahead and add them up, because you can eliminate the x term. Because negative 2x plus 2x is 0. And then 3y plus y is 4y. And 14 plus 2 is 16. We divide both sides by 4. That tells me y has to be 4. All right, but for the x term, you can evaluate y equals 4 into the top or bottom equation. Let's say I take the top equation. So I have negative 2x plus 3y equals 2. That'd be negative 2x plus 3 times 4 equals 2. So negative 2x plus 12 equals 2. If I were to subtract 12 from both sides, I get negative 2x equals negative 10. I divide both sides by negative 2. X has to equal positive 5. So the point of intersection is 5, 4. This concludes our lesson for today.